Hello, how's it going, guys? Just see how the stream's going. Can you hear me? Let me know if there's any issues on your end. Before we get started, Tradition, what's up? How you doing? Owen Evans, there'll be no talk about banana butties and biscuits. Don't worry about that. New headphones? No. These are old enough. These are my laptop headphones. Screen is black, just see your face. That might be an issue. Kiwi, someone ban Kiwi immediately. Okay, so I think we'll do the same thing as this is Tradition now. Okay, we'll just watch the whole thing first, and then we'll go over it bit by bit. Dissect us, you know. So let's begin. This is from IGN, by the way. If you wanna go track it down yourself, the source is in the description, or at least it should be. Sounds nice. That was an abrupt end. Okay. Go back to the beginning. Turn the volume down a bit for me. Yeah, let's check the comments super quick. See what shit you're talking. What's up, Jonathan Harper? Nice to see you. Tradition, this map is definitely the best looking for me. It is a sexually appealing map, and I think it gets us all moist. Decepticon, obviously different style, red dots. This is an EOT tech, or EO tech. I would have just called it a holograph site, but I'm guessing that's, you've got the technical term different, so I won't argue with you. Decepticon, when he placed that thing on the wall, I felt the PP moisture from here. Okay, for a second there I thought you were going to offer something to the discussion, Decepticon, but How naive I was. Owen Evans' gun sounds solid, and the recoil. Yeah, I don't know what gun that was. The ass of the gun kind of looked like an AK-47, but then when he reloaded it didn't. It had like a foregrip. I don't think AKs get like those hand grips on the front. I could be wrong, but maybe it's just the Kruger or something like that. Yukmout's body is ready. That's good to hear. JD Max, man, you have the ultimate coverage for this game. JD Max, I just have no life, you know. So this is how I spend my nights. Alex Bevan, welcome back. Just joined. What have I missed? You haven't missed much. We just watched the trailer from the beginning. I don't know if you've already seen it or not, but we just went over that real quick. And now we're about to start the anal ISIS, as they say on the streets. You can outfit an AK with a foregrip, so it could be an AK. Well, no, it's not going to be an AK, but it could be like their version of an AK. Ernesto Morales, I read everything backwards first, so I know what you're doing. No, I'm not impressed by that foul language in my stream. That's your first warning of the night. So let's start. Okay, straight away. Office map, we've established that already. They're on the defending team. The guy on the right there looks like the British dude Grim, and I think Nala is on his left. So remember, Grim is the medic type dude. Well, he's got the perk Quick Fix, which lets him revive teammates quicker. And then Nala here, what weapon is she using? It looks kind of strange, doesn't it? Maybe it's just that I can't see her left hand where it is. It looks like she's gripping it like a pistol, but it's an assault rifle or something. But it's probably just the angle. But anyway, Nala's skill is Ghost, which lets her avoid setting off traps and mines and shit like that. So it's interesting that she's on the defending team. I definitely put her as an attacker. I'm excited for the hotel map because of the long range engagements, like a Nicolas Cage movie. Okay, that's from Mason Newman. Thank you, Mason. Yeah, it's one of those maps we don't know an awful lot about. There's definitely like side rooms, bedrooms and stuff down them long corridors that we haven't really seen the inside of them yet. Ernesto M4, Owen Evans M4. So that's 2 votes for the M4. There's also a dog tag on this M4 that's blue. I don't know. We'll try and get it paused on us so we can get a better look. I can't. Who's that other teammate? It's kind of hard to see. Maybe we'll get a better look later on. So he's trying to place a signal jammer here, but as you can see, there's like, you can't just stick it anywhere. He couldn't put it on the base of that flower pot. He can't even put it on the floor near the flower pot. It has to be kind of like nothing interacting with this. Like there has to be a bit of a distance, a safety zone or a safety margin or something like that before it can be placed. So there it can be placed. So it's not too strict, but it is kind of strict. Maybe a bit stricter than I thought it would be. Excuse me. And it does make an audio cue, as you can hear there when he placed it. Let's go back a bit. Well, you probably can't hear because I have it turned down, but I can hear it, don't worry. Makes the beeping sound. So I'm guessing if you're on the enemy team, you're going to hear that beeping sound. That's how you're going to track it down. Nala's gun is the M4. Okay, tradition. Sorry about that. Player is an AK variant. Okay, cool. Today's a good day when you don't have to use your AK. Okay. Ernesto with the lost edits in the chat. Mason Newman, I can't wait to go a la coup bar with my AK. Okay. Laner 130 looks good. You can tell most of the people they bring in do not have much experience with real guns or the aim controller. I've noticed they don't really get creative. Like, they don't take advantage of the fact that they're in VR and that they have the aim controller. It's kind of like he's constantly using the sticks rather than sweeping around, you know. So that was a bit disappointing to see. Was, you know, I don't blame the person playing either because they might not be used to it, you know. Tradition, does that signal modifier block the hack? It does. It has to be destroyed before they can hack the laptop, if that's near the laptop. Alex Bevan, the lighting and guns look so good. Glad to see a polished game. I agree with you there, Alex. Tradition, or just hide location of laptop from HUD. Oh no, it doesn't hide the location. The location is automatically hidden until they actually either stumble upon us or until they hack the firewall, and then it appears on their HUD. They look very confused with aiming. I suppose it would get like you'd be so used to playing your standard flat FPS, you just expect the reticule to be right in the middle of the screen. Instead it can be like up or down, you know, kind of depending on if you don't have the aim controller held straight enough. So I'm not going to go too harsh on these guys because look, it's an IGN. We should be grateful that IGN are even covering this game at all. I didn't think they would with the way things were going. So I don't expect them. I don't think they even have. Do they have like a dedicated VR expert on their team? I know they got like PlayStation guys and Nintendo guys and Xbox guys, but I don't think they do for VR. Mason, I wonder if there will be rounds, and if each team ties, there is an overtime like Rainbow Six Siege, sorry. There is rounds, I think, because you do switch, but I don't know how the third, like I don't know what happens if it is a tie-break situation. Will it be random? So like you could be either attacker or defender for the final round, or is it going to be in sequence, if you know what I mean? Tradition says the GameSpot people mentioned a device that speeds up the hack, so maybe the signal modifier does that when equipped for an attacker. It could be, and that would be a good explanation why it's called a signal modifier rather than a signal jammer. But in this instance, these guys are the defending team, so it's going to be blocking. But that's a good theory, Tradition. Dave Station, what's up? There's that pumpkin face we all know and love. Thank you, Dave. We need to get an operator based on this face. His perk could be, I don't know, what could his perk be? Something depressing. PP, you got the beat better than IGN. Big pump for IGN viewer expert. Lads, send in the CVs for me, or resumes, as you say in America. I think the third round is always random. Thank you, Dave Station. Feels like I read that somewhere. So if anyone can confirm or deny that, I would appreciate that. Ernesto Morales, I have an amazing idea. Just shoot your gun upside down so that the recoil goes down. Ernesto should be the IGN expert. Actually, look at this scene here that I thought was interesting when I watched it the first time. If you see your teammate right there, Guest F he's called, he's actually really hard to see with the way the shadow is in that area. So I think if it wasn't for the thing over his head, you wouldn't even know he was there, would you? Now I know the quality of this is probably going to be lesser than it will be in the actual game, but that's interesting to know. Like it seems like maybe stealth is a viable thing when you got little hiding spots like that. Tradition, that would work. Double gangsta. Okay, let's keep going. I'm trying to get a good look at that dog tag. It's blue and it's got some kind of white logo on it, I think. Okay, the click turning is, excuse me, they seem to have all the comfort settings on, click turning, and they got the blinders coming in the sides when they're sprinting, so it's not as pleasant for us to watch. As you can see, the two yellow dots there on the map, those are the access points. That's how you hack the firewall. That's what the other team is going for right now. What is that dog tag? Can anyone tell me in the chat? Is there just red dot sites and yellow sites, or is there more variation of red dot sites? Because I know they don't have 2 times sites or 4 times agonic dot sites. As far as I know, it's just red dots and hollows, but I don't know if there's like custom versions, like different variants of them. but there is no magnification like he said. We know the laser sights have a bit of variation. There's definitely green lasers in the game, so maybe they got like a certain kind of customization thing there. Blaze C. Ugh, school started today, very tired, I will fall asleep to your stream. Thank you very much, Blaze C. I'll put that in the back of the box when I'm selling myself, that quote. Please tell me you can turn the blinders off. Alex Bevan, I'm pretty sure they've confirmed that you can turn all the comfort settings off, so don't worry about that. Ernesto Morales, I'm going to bet that the meta is going to be blind fire. It's definitely going to be something. I think the meta is going to be something you can't do in normal VR, at least I hope it is, or normal flat screen stuff, you know. I'd like to see people taking advantage of VR like that. Open sights as well. Yeah, well, I'd imagine if you don't put an optic on your gun, that's just what you're going to be. That'll be the default, you know, I think. Okay. It's like a blue. It's like a crest or something. I thought it was white at first, but there's definitely other colors there. It's really kind of jizzery as well. The dog tag, I mean. So he's moving real slow. Okay. So did you hear that noise? Let's see if I can go back. Listen to the audio cue there as he's sneaking up. There. So I'm pretty sure that audio cue means that the enemy team are in the middle of hacking into the access point. And you can see that there's a couple of lads downstairs hacking in that he starts shooting at. The dog tag is probably jittery due to the click turning. Yeah. Polish Paul, what's up, Polish Paul? When I've been reading comments on that IGN video, it was making my piss boil. How some people have no clue about VR. I know, but when you get the mainstream coverage of IGN, you're gonna expose Firewall. I'm sorry, you're gonna expose Firewall to more ignorant people. You know, in terms of like a mass audience, and the way things are now, and VR is very niche, and a lot of people don't really know much about it, so they're uneducated. The VR gang is all here, boys. Okay, let's keep going. So you can see the two boys down there at the base pillar, and they seem to have already initiated a hack, I think. At least I think that's what that sound is about. And there, the same noise happened again, and as soon as it did, the two access points disappeared from the map. We'll just go back like a second. So you can see the two access points, the orange dots, one upstairs, one downstairs. Once you hear the second blip, or bleep, whatever you want to call it, they vanish. That means they've hacked it, and the laptop is now exposed for them to see on their HUD, I think. You can see the enemy has green laser sights as he's shooting up. Yeah, that's a good freeze frame right there. The guy behind the pillar on the bottom there is aiming up towards the player here while he's shooting, and there's a good sound to the guns. Well, to the AK anyway. Now that was interesting. There was a beeping sound that sounded like it was coming from a grenade. Hold on, let me just check out the comments. Laner, have we seen anyone get flashbanged? Yes, in any videos. That PS Viewer headset can get bright. I wanted to fry my eyeballs. It's a good point, Laner. We have seen in the GameSpot, the 9-minute video from GameSpot, that there was a time when a flashbang was thrown, but the effect was very brief, and so people in the comments were saying that maybe he only got like half exposed. He didn't get the full bang from the flashbang, so that's why the effect wasn't as severe as maybe it should have been, or what you would expect. But check out the GameSpot 9-minute video if you want to see what the flashbang's like in action, even if it's not the full effect, you know. Owen Evans, IGN are famous for their viewer coverage. Lol. Tradition. Well spotted on the audio cues, didn't notice them. Thank you, Tradition. Alex Bevan, good freeze to look at the... Oh shit, did I miss the dog tag? Ryan Smith, what's up? Glad you could make it. Oh shit, you're right. That is a good freeze, although I am completely unfamiliar with that. It's like a crest or some shit. In yesterday's, or no, not yesterday's, in the GameSpot video, we saw the California flag, and that's kind of one of the few American state flags I'm familiar with. This could be a different one, so let me know if you recognize that. I bet they'll do a pumpkin tag. Says iUser profile. Nice to meet you, iUser profile. I hope they do. That'd be cool. Is that my state? Laner, what's your state? Something American maybe. Alex Bevan says. I think it's Shrek at the beach. I doubt it, Kiwi, but you know, I can't deny it either. Laner, what's the New York flag? I wonder. Maybe that's New York. Maine. Okay, that's interesting. That's kind of like you wouldn't expect that, you know. If they have Maine, if they have California, you imagine then they have every state. Or else why would you have Maine? No offense to Maine, of course, but it's just not something you would expect, you know. But hopefully they have all 50 states. Or 51 or whatever there is now, who knows. I can't keep up with America. You can see the camouflage pattern on the gun. It looks like a water kind of camouflage, blue and white. We'll keep going. Yeah, so you heard beep 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 beep. It like sounded like someone threw a grenade, and you got an audio warning, and the beeps were the audio warning. I'm guessing it was a frag grenade, and you hear an explosion but you don't see it. What was that? Did you hear it was like a doof, and then it seemed like he took a bit of, well, I won't say damage, but he got like the damage indicator on top of the screen. Was it here? No? Did I miss it? Did I go back enough? Or whatever, it probably wasn't important. Okay, they bleeped out the swear words. See, they were getting into it, they're having a good time. Having the lols and the bants and saying the mofo word as they do on the streets. And you can see the outline of his teammate after he was downed. Of course, I can't see it now. There. Shit. So he was downed. He goes yellow. That means he's got like a certain amount of time left, and that slowly changes down to like a red. So it goes yellow, orange, red, and then he's dead. So that's like your window to revive him. Although he's still taking fire, I think he's like immediately killed here. Yeah, and that's him saying motherfucker, I'm guessing. Bit of a long range shootout here. And this is kind of interesting. Now we knew you take the red damage around the screen, but it actually impairs your audio as well once you've taken severe damage. It's like increases the reverb or some shit like that. I don't know the technical term. Okay, what are you guys saying? Maine just got burned. Nobody goes to Maine. What's up, Mr. Bean? Nice to meet you. Or not meet you, nice to see you again, sorry. You come out, why are they turning like teleporting? That's because of a comfort setting that comes on as default. I'm guessing that will be default when you play the game. So you'll have to go into the settings yourself and turn that off so you can get smooth turning. But when they have these, I think this is from Gamescom. I'm assuming this is from Gamescom. And so at these kind of conferences, at shows like this, they will have the comfort settings on because not everyone is like us, you know. Not everyone is part of the next step of human evolution. And so these Neanderthals, they need these comfort settings, you know, to help them cope with the future. Mason Newman, this game is so hyped. Jesus is watching your stream right now. I didn't see Jesus. B Wash, hello B Wash. Thanks for all the coverage of the game. I hope to run into you, honest. I hope so too, B Wash. But in the same way, I hope that there's enough players playing so that I never run into everyone again and again, you know. Although I do hope I'll bump into you. Join the Firewall community and add me on PSN if you want. I just noticed he is shooting in burst. Is there fire modes like full auto and single fire? We don't know if there is or not, but I will go back and see if he's shooting in bursts. We don't know what the R1 button does, so maybe that's like a toggle for war. Well, there's also the D-pad that could do something like that. Let's go back and see how he's shooting. Oh shit, I hit the wrong fucking thing. It was around here somewhere. Maybe a bit further. Let's just watch that again. Is it just me or does it sound like he's shooting in twos? Like what if it was in bursts, want it to be 3-round bursts? Isn't 2 unusual? I could be wrong. Maybe I'm hearing that wrong. Alex Bevan, the kick on the gun doesn't look too bad. That's true, but keep in mind that there is the possibility he's playing as Odin, and Odin has better recoil handling than any other operator. I user profile. I really like how it played out like a prolonged firefight with a lot of pot shots taken at each other. Yeah, that was pretty cool. I didn't really like how the defenders kind of didn't do much. Like I would have much rather have seen the perspective of the attackers, even though they lost this round, but it would have been more exciting, I think, because just this guy was kind of chilling out on top of the stairs taking pot shots, which is, no, it's cool, like, but not exactly the most exciting thing to show the game off with, I don't think. I think he's just tapping the trigger, Mason. That's a definite possibility, Alex. Mamiya 645. I think I'll be playing this with a 1-point sling on the aim. Adjusted to the right length. It'll be an improvised stock when held out. Well, all more power to you. I've seen a lot of custom stocks and shit like that. They look kind of cool. I probably won't go to the trouble myself, but I'm looking forward to seeing everyone with their fucking bootleg stocks and shit on the Reddit or the subreddit. Laner 130. Good news that if they have main, then no matter what hole in the ground you're from, they will have you covered. I'll be happy when I see the Irish flag, Laner, sorry. Lewis Knight, PS Viewer, what's up? How are you? Tradition, good idea, Mamiya. I hope it's a setting, says Yukmout B. You mean burst fire? I hope so too. More options the better. Tradition, I might make something similar with a belt. That'll be interesting to see. B-Wash, Mamiya, I was planning on doing the same thing. We use them in Rifle Team. I don't know what Rifle Team is. I need to do revolver headshots from these ranges after all. Oh yeah, get that revolver Ocelot stock thing that he had in Metal Gear Solid 3. I quite like small but dedicated communities. You get to know people and create reputations, unlike in the bigger games where you rarely ever see the same players twice. That's a good point too, but just in the case of Firewall, if you're not seeing the same player twice, it's a good sign, you know. It means the game is doing well, healthy, you know. AN94 is a 2-round burst AK variant. maybe it's that. That's, yeah. If that's true, then that is definitely a possibility, Tradition. We'll keep an eye out for that one. Blue Knife, hey Pumpkin. Hello Blue Knife, how are you? Moto Ace, could be bursting himself. Yeah, that's true, Moto Ace. Polish Paul, if he's defending, they probably told him to cover the stairs. Yeah, that is a good point, Polish Paul. But I'd rather or at least cut to different perspectives of the defendant team, because just watching him cover the stairs, he did get a kill at the end and he had an engaging firefight on top of the stairs, but just make it a bit more dynamic for our sake to watch it, you know. It's a small complaint, but you know how I like to nitpick. It was a very bad strategy to attack from low ground. Yeah, it's a good point, Blue Knife, but then again, these are gaming journalists, so obviously they've never played game before in real life. They wouldn't know what they're doing. I bet the 12 people who played Lawbreakers got to know each other very well. My high school had a military-sponsored rifle team that used pellet rifles for the J or OTC program. It's not too common. That sounds pretty cool. B. Walsh. I'd like to be on a rifle team. Blue Knife, there's a better way up than the main stairs. But that guy didn't take us. Polish Paul, I didn't know a single person who played Lawbreakers. I don't think anyone knows a single person. I'm pretty sure it was just the dev team playing that game at the end. Okay, let's go on a little bit here. Yeah, lambs to the slaughter there. Yeah. And then it just immediately cuts to the contract fulfilled screen. Let's go back a sec. Yeah. You still get control of your head, you still look around and stuff, but it's a bit jarring. Although that is just the end of round 1, as far as I can tell. So they swap teams now again. Okay. Ultimo D. It bugs the shit out of me that you can see the name of the enemy above their head. No different than chasing a red Doriso in Battlefield. Well, from what I can see, you have to be kind of looking at them or aiming at them for the thing to appear over their head. And once you stop, it vanishes. Unlike Battlefield, where the tag stays with them for a while. So there isn't a tag in this game. It's like a temporary kind of. It's like lets you know who you're shooting, kind of. That's how I see it. But definitely, if a hardcore mode comes, then I don't want to see that in that mode, and I don't think there will be. I think Hess Barber already talked about getting rid of that for a hardcore mode. Is there a regen? Says Alex Bevan. Yes, there is. I don't know if there's an actual health bar that you can check, but definitely if you avoid conflict after taking damage, you will heal up. You might not heal 100%, but you will heal to the point where there's no longer red shit around the side of your peripheral. The 9-year-olds say, I want Fortnite in PSVR. I bet there will be even more PSVR units sold if that happens, says Mason Newman. Well, you look, if they can run Fortnite on mobile phones, then I don't know, maybe it's possible to get it on a PSVR. Blue Knife. So it is proximity chat confirmed. If that the case, will group chat bypass this? There is. I don't think it's been confirmed that there is proximity chat. If anything, it's been. We got David Jagno from uploadvr.com, and he was saying that the chat was locked to team only, so he couldn't hear the enemy team. Now I don't think he was in party chat, like the PlayStation's built-in party chat, if you know what I mean. So it could be that there is no proximity chat with the enemy team. I hope there is. PSVR Assassin caught the end of this. Well, we might go over it again, see if there's anything else we missed, seeing as it is a bit of a quick one. Oh, hit the wrong button over here. So the operator, the kind of mysterious one that we don't know who's on the team, kind of looks female from the silhouette. I could be wrong, of course. Mamiya. I like it that you can leave a target down but not out if you want. Allows for psychological tactics. Absolutely. You can use them as a lure as well for their teammates, or you can just go down and put your balls in his face, I'd imagine. But I wish there was proximity chat just for exactly for that situation where I would go over some, I would crouch down beside them and I'd whisper sweet nothings into their ears, like, you know, just for the fun. PS Viewer Assassin looks like that last guy shooting wasn't holding the weapon close enough to his body. Couldn't through the HoloLens very good. Couldn't see through the HoloLens very good, I'm guessing. We'll have another look at that when we get there at the end again. Ultimo D, I can't wait to wreck these guys that can't rely on cranking up the turn speed and aiming at reticle. Sup bro, what's up Tremerix? Thanks for joining. So I'm wondering, can you point that thing straight up and attach it to the ceiling or something like that? It doesn't seem to have a huge range in terms, like placeables don't seem to have. If you go back here, you can see the kind of range it has. Maybe not high enough to hit the ceiling. Probably not. All things considered, he could have put it in a worse spot. Okay, so he breaks off from the rest of the team. I don't think they told him to do that. You can see his teammates are much closer to the action, although one of them does die for his getting too close, but still, it would be nice to see that perspective too. I enjoy that motherfucker. So he's starting to regenerate now a bit. He was close to death there, he could have died. Very easy. So what I was listening there for that playthrough was, could I hear the enemy team at all? And I don't think I could. There was one point where one of the enemy team died and I could hear in the distance someone going, oh, but I think that was like picking up audio from the mic rather than actually being proximity chat from the game. Blue Knife, do we know if that is in-game music? It sounds good. I do like the soundtrack, but it's possible it is just overlaid on this video. It does sound a bit loud to be in the game. I don't know what you think, but if it's as loud as that, I think I'll be turning it down just a little bit so I can hear better. I wasn't expecting there to be music at all during gameplay, except for, like, you know, when you've won the round or whatever. And in the lobby area too, maybe. Mason Newman, Watch them hide a ray gun in one of the maps. Whoever gets it first is going to win. I don't know if they'll go to that extreme. I think they want to keep it a bit serious. Wayne Rutherford. Is there friendly fire? Hello, Wayne. No, not in the standard mode. It's possible there could be in private matches. They have confirmed there is settings that you can adjust in private matches, but we don't know what those settings are yet. If a hardcore mode does come, which they've talked about, that will have friendly fire, but it's kind of a wait and see. James Furtado, how much have I missed? James, you missed a good bit. Sorry, there's a bit of a fly buzzing around. I think we're coming to the end of the stream now, James, so you might have to re-watch it when it goes up on the channel. What happens if you lay down? Oh, sorry, I've skipped a comment. Mason asks, burst fire, question mark. We don't know, Mason. I don't think we can judge from watching this gameplay anyway, unless there's 2 burst gunfire, because he seems to shoot in 2s. But he could just be timing that himself with the trigger, so I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. James Furtado, what happens if you lay down? Go. Is there no prone? I doubt the game has prone in mind, just because of the way PSVR is designed. It's not really feasible to set up your play area so that it can see you when you're standing and when you're lying flat on the ground, you know. So you can crouch in real life and your character will crouch in the game too, but I'd say once you go to a certain minimum height, then an out of play area might pop up on the screen or some shit like that. Roy Schwartz, no meds, first aid. Roy, there is the medic gun that can revive you. We know that there's ammo boxes that can be placed. I don't think we've seen like medical kits or anything like that can be placed, but I'm not going to say no to it either. If there's ammo boxes, you'd think maybe medic boxes are there too, but who knows. Ultimo D, I turn music off anyway. That's fair enough. Tactical benefit there. Mammy, yeah, there's a crouch button, but not seen yet. What happens if you crouch in real life while crouched in game? See, if they allow that kind of shit, then people are just going to be like clipping through the floor and all you'll see is their heads. Like, that kind of shit happens in Rec Room. That annoys me to no end, so I don't think they'll allow that kind of shit. I hope not, anyway. If developer ever release a hardcore simulation mode with no teammate ghost, 1 bullet. What do you mean no teammate ghost? 1 bullet kill, etc. That would be insane. Yeah, well, we're hoping for the hardcore mode to come out. He said it himself that he knows that the players will want something more tense. Hesbarber said that, so it depends on if the game does well, you know. James Furtado, okay man, I will. James, I can't remember what you're replying to there, I'm sorry. Yeah, health would be nice. It would add a tactical element to it, Roy, but we'll see. Blaze C, 28 watching, there should be 28 likes. Thank you, Blaze C. Guys, is there anything else that you wanted me to go over in the video, or is there any other kind of questions or something like that? Because if not, I will just end the stream there. I'll give you a couple of minutes to get typing. Ray Schwartz, player base needs established before the DLC is considered. That's correct, Roy, because they're worried about splitting up the player base if they add too many modes, or even one more mode, you know. So that's definitely a valid concern. I agree with that, but I think this game will do well enough to the point where you can get those extra modes. The game needs some ham DLC confirmed for Roy Schwartz, and Frying Pan DLC for Ernesto. James Furtado, later man, I watched the stream and it goes up. Thank you, James. Sorry you missed it now. I did try and give a bit more warning this time. I gave like a half an hour countdown thing, but sorry you missed it anyway. Ernesto, Mason Newman, I wonder if they will add new maps and weapons even if the game becomes mainstream. I wonder if they will add new maps and weapons even if the game, even if the J becomes mainstream. I don't really understand your question, Mason, because if the game became mainstream, then wouldn't they definitely add new maps and weapons, you know? Ernesto, more pans. Roy, Fire Pan, 0 Hour. Sorry, game. Okay, so even with game though, I don't really understand your point, Mason. Sword Pan. I just hope that if new maps come and if new weapons come, that kind of content will be free. Just because that's the kind of shit that would split the player base. I hope that they keep all the paid stuff as cosmetic stuff, you know. Karen welcomes the one who will ban them all, Cousin Justin. Cousin Justin, you're late to the party. We're gonna be wrapping up soon. Unless you guys have any more questions or anything else you want to talk about. Oh, actually, you know what? While I'm waiting for you to reply, I'm gonna look up the main flag. I guess it'll be a flag. It actually does look very similar. I'll see if I can pop that up on the stream for you guys to see as well. If I can figure this out. Hopefully the thing doesn't just crash. Okay. Let's see if let me just copy the link for the thing I searched. Copy, bring that over, paste, and okay. Okay, so can you see that shit? Make that a bit bigger. This is the main flag, and it does look remarkably similar to the dog tag that we saw in the game. Let's see if we can bring that back up. I think towards the end we got a better look. I'm just going to mute it and play. Try and pause it. Once he gets into the firefights on the stairs, it's not easy. I think when he reloads is the best opportunity. Focus. Okay, you know, it does look similar is what I'm saying. So I think Laner was correct about that. Let me just go back up. Karen, well, okay, we already saw that. Maybe Bow to Blood is Firewall in the Sky. Bow to Blood is one I should look into more. I've seen the reveal trailer back at, was it E3? I feel like it wasn't too long ago it was revealed. But I don't have much hype for it. Just because Firewall is one of those kind of games that just drowns out my hype for all the other games. Mason Newman, I'm getting off the stream, had a good time. My boy Pumpkins, thank you for joining, Mason, appreciate that. Blue Knife, who is getting or making a stock? Not me. Edify Till I Die, does anyone know if bullets penetrate the drywall or shoot house plywood and materials such as that? Edify Till I Die, I don't think that's ever been confirmed by anyone. I'd imagine that would be something that people would talk about if they had it, so you know, I'm going to say probably not, so don't get your hopes up too much on that one. User profile already has his stock med. Kiwi MT, they should use your mouse clicks as in-game audio when hacking the laptop. Would hear it through the entire map. Sorry about that, Kiwi. Decepticon, does anyone actually live in Maine? Pretty sure Stephen King does, because all his books seem to be about Maine. Edify Till I Die, is directional audio and proximity chat work for both teams? Can they hear us if we speak in their vicinity? This is something we were talking about like 10 minutes ago. Edify Till I Die. We don't think, it's kind of looking like there isn't proximity chat for the enemy team. It seems to just be your own team. Could definitely be wrong about that. But after listening over again and reading the comments from David Jagno, who is a journalist for Upload Viewer, and he was saying that there was no proximity chat. So unless that was a setting, unless he was in the party chat on the PlayStation or something like that, we don't really know for sure. Yeah, that's right, Blue Knife, not confirmed, yes. You're welcome, Edified Till I Die. Don't worry about coming in late. Decepticon, that's a good place for an author, because if I lived in Maine, I wouldn't leave the house either. I don't know anything about Maine, so this abuse is lost on me. PS Viewer Assassin, not much longer. See y'all in the fight. Okay, PS Viewer Assassin, I think that's a good comment to leave things off with. We've just got, well, ye have less, but I've got a week left. You got 6 days. So I'm very jealous of you right now. I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for stopping by. Make sure you do all the liking and the sharing and all that kind of trash. And bye.